Hey guys, in this video we're going to be talking about virtual spring weeks. So I'm going to be sharing my experiences, my thoughts, and some tips to really help you maximize your spring week, so make sure to stick around until the end. So in my first year of university, around about January 2020, I found that I had been accepted onto 2 investment banking spring week programs, which was great. Back then in January, things were still going on as normal and we thought we'd be in the office like previous years. However, about a month later, all the banks announced that they were now going to be online. So we were the first year to have like the whole virtual spring week offering. First, I was gutted because I was really excited to get into the office and have the entire like working life experience, and I just didn't think the virtual experience would be as good, but it actually was really good. So let's go into what I actually did during these virtual spring weeks. In terms of what you can expect, every bank does it slightly differently, so I can only talk about my experiences. So for me, I completed my 2 spring weeks at JP Morgan and Nomura. I'll start with JP Morgan because that was my first one. So this took place around the end of March to the start of April. Okay, so Monday morning, the first day, from about 9:30 to 10:15, we had the standard welcoming, congratulations, all the talk from like HR. And then this was followed by a talk from the investment banking head of technology at the time. We then had a short 10-minute break and then straight into the first technical training session of the week. So obviously spring weeks are nothing crazy technical, but JP Morgan is known for having one of the more technical spring weeks. So we basically just got a good foundation of what corporate finance is. From Tuesday to Thursday, we focused on corporate finance training. So each day focused on a different side of corporate finance. So for example, on the first day, we focused on investment banking and financial statement analysis. Another day was all about equities, bonds, and we analyzed a Bloomberg terminal. Another day was focused on the markets. So everything from Forex, commodities, derivatives, and we also had case studies as well. But I think one of the most interesting days was when we learned about asset management, because there was basically a topic about alternative investments and everyone was sort of like chipping in, giving sort of like unique ideas. So yeah, I probably enjoyed that one the most. I know that people who had prepared quite a bit for their spring weeks or had already done quite a lot of corporate finance, like basics training, found these training sessions very repetitive. But for me, I hadn't done anything, so it was good. The final session on Friday was just another company event. So this is focused on sustainability, but then there was also some tips shared on how to secure the summer internship. Our spring week was not convertible, so we did have to go into the summer internship recruitment like everyone else, which I actually vlogged and you can find that. Overall, I did really enjoy JP Morgan Spring Week. I thought it was really informative and really gave good insights. And like I said, other Spring Weeks probably weren't as technical. The only thing that I would say is that it was delivered on a platform where you couldn't actually put your cameras on. So I never actually got to see anyone in my cohort. And I remember seeing on LinkedIn other spring weeks at the same time where they would have like little screenshots of like their Zoom spring weeks, which I thought was really cute, but we didn't have that experience. I also wish they had done breakout rooms so we could speak to each other. But yeah, I did love the spring week and I did think they did an amazing job, especially given the short notice and the unprecedented situation. Okay, so now on to Nomura's program, which took place the following week. Because of the situation, this was actually reduced to a 2-day program, but it was really, really good, and I think even better than JP's. Okay, so Monday was a super packed 9:30 to 3:30 type of day. Again, started with company introductions, but then went straight into corporate finance training. We got put into breakout sessions and we had 2 hours to create a presentation, so this was great to work with the other interns. We then had a day in the live session with 2 current investment bankers. So this was great to really hear their experiences and just get some more insight. So Tuesday was another packed day. It started with an introduction to global markets and structured products. We learned about life on the trading floor, and then we did a trading simulation in breakout rooms. So again, getting to work in teams. And then they ended the spring week with some top tips from HR on the next stage of recruitment. So I think Nomura's internship was really great. They really put a lot of work into it. The people who led it were super fun, super engaging, and everyone was just super passionate. It was great to meet and work with other interns. I feel like we all got a really good feel of the company. So with hindsight, I think there's one big reason why you'd prefer a virtual internship to an in-person one, is that a lot of these spring weeks took place during the semester. So basically you'd have to catch up on all the work you missed after your spring week had finished. So for me, having a virtual internship where you could end a little bit earlier and there'd be less commuting time meant that I could continue to study while being in this internship. Like for example, I had a 4,000 word essay that I was writing at the same time during my JP internship, and that wouldn't have been possible if we were in the office. So here are some tips for you to really maximize your spring week. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is to take smart notes. If your internship isn't convertible, then you'll need to apply for summer internships like everyone else. So during the spring week, you want to keep an ear out. You want to take note of any important things that people say that you can include in your cover letter or you can mention in your interviews to show that you've already had some sort of rapport with the company. So make note of anything useful that the current bankers or HR says. They can really help you in your application to stand out. Okay, so my second tip is about group exercises. So if you have some sort of segment in your spring week where you'll be working with other people, and especially if you'll be assessed in these group exercises, you definitely want to be very careful about how you're acting. So in these group exercises, you definitely want to make a contribution and definitely want to take an important role. So whether that be you're the note taker, or you're the person that's getting everyone involved, or you're the person who's going to lead the presentation, you definitely want to have a prominent role in the discussion. In the group exercise, they're really looking for analytical thinkers and team workers. I would definitely try to bring some sort of like new or creative idea or to sort of develop on other people's points. But even if you can't do that, the worst thing you can do is to just sit and say nothing, because the personality type that they are looking for in investment banking is someone that's confident and who works in a team. So you kind of have to ensure you're getting involved and taking part to research around any topics that are going to be spoken about. So if you get an agenda beforehand that says this person is going to be speaking on this topic, it wouldn't hurt for you to check the FT or other good forums for information on that topic, so that when they finish their talk, you can ask a really insightful question. So something along the lines of, you mentioned X in your talk, I recently read about Y, what do you think about Y given X? Basically. So another big tip is to connect with the bankers who talk during your internship. They might not accept, but you definitely do want to make the effort anyways. You also want to definitely connect with your cohort. And a functional tip is to log in early. This is absolutely essential. Like, you don't want to be the person who's coming into the meeting late. But if your first session starts at 9 AM, try and be seated and ready at 8:45. If your spring week is delivered on a platform where you can have your cameras on, then you definitely want to have something formal on, and you want to create a background that is sort of neutral. I would say to prepare this a day or two before the internship actually starts. So that was my virtual spring week experience and the tips that I would give you all. Congratulations on your spring weeks. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. For more student and careers related content, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.